Hi friends, it's Michelle Maddox of Sedona Meditation Experiences with another episode of Sedona Meditation Adventures. This is my show where I come out to fabulous places in and around Sedona and the desert southwest and talk about and put mindfulness and meditation practices into use. So thanks for joining. This week I'm here by Oak Creek and the fabulous Cathedral Rock, one of the vortex sites here in Sedona. And it's just sunset, so the light is beautiful, and you can see the light shining on Cathedral Rock in the background. I wanted to talk this week about perfection. I had the experience, as I'm sure a lot of you did, of seeing the annular solar eclipse last week. And the path of totality passed through a tiny little swath of northeastern Arizona, which is on the Navajo Nation. I used to live on the Navajo Nation, and on a whim, I decided to drive up there and be in the path of totality. The eclipse was visible here in Sedona, as it was in many places across the United States, but not in totality. I was blessed to see a total solar eclipse back in 1998 in Venezuela. There was a solar eclipse that I traveled to see, and I'm just really turned on by eclipses, solar eclipses, ever since. And one of the big reasons why is because it's a moment of perfection, where you have these two heavenly bodies, really three heavenly bodies. There's the sun, there's the moon, and there's the earth. And they come into alignment in a way that creates something truly phenomenal, unique, and amazing. And the feeling that I experienced in Venezuela for that total eclipse is unlike anything I've ever experienced. So it was not that big of an ask to jump in my car and drive 3 hours to go see this eclipse in its totality. And the story was quite amazing. It really was a whim. I had wanted to do it, but it wasn't really working out. I just got back from another trip. I was still kind of recuperating from just the travel. And I just couldn't get it out of my mind. I kept seeing myself there, with the eclipse. And so I started looking at campgrounds to see if I could go camp. And of course, people plan these things, years, in some cases, in advance. So all the places were full. And I didn't want to drive up and just, find out there's no place to stay. So I started searching out hotels. And they were all booked. And somehow I found a hotel where there was a room left. I couldn't believe it. So I went ahead and booked the room. It wasn't in the path of totality, but it was 2 hours closer than Sedona. So I went ahead and booked that room. And then I started getting my stuff together. And one of the things that you need for an eclipse are the glasses, to block out the sun. You don't want to stare at the sun. And with this eclipse, the sun shines around the edges. It's an annular eclipse, so you definitely need to look at it through the safety of the mylar. And so I heard that the public library in town was giving away glasses. I thought, oh, surely the stores will have them. So I went to a couple stores and no, we don't have those. Okay, so I decided to go to the library, and by now it's like Friday night at 4:30, the library closes at 5, and I get over there, and I walk in the door, and one of the gals was standing behind the desk holding up a pair of the glasses, and she said, "You get the last pair."
You got the last one!
I got the last one.
Oh, my husband already got.
And I was just blown away. So I'm like, okay, I think I got the last room on the reservation. I got the last pair of glasses in Sedona. I feel like I'm supposed to go to this thing. So I drive up, and I stay at my hotel. And the next morning comes, and the eclipse was kind of early in the morning. It was like at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I got up very early and planned on driving another couple of hours to a town where I used to live, Red Mesa. I taught math there before I moved to Sedona back in the 90s, and I thought it'd be fun to go back there. But I was closer to another spot that I know and love that felt right, and I decided to stay there. Even though it was like a minute and a half less time in totality, it felt good. And I camped myself out, And I got to watch that eclipse. And I'll tell you, that moment of perfection where these two bodies come into alignment with the third body, which is my position on Earth, and just it stays like that for just a few minutes, and it sends this message to my mind, to my whole being, of perfection, of being in alignment. And for those moments, I get to realize something perfect in this world. And how often do we get to do that, friends? How often do you really get to experience perfection? I know a lot of things we say are perfect, and they are. And in many ways, life here on Earth in general is perfect. But I'm telling you, these things that truly send that signal of like, perfection is possible. And it just reminded me of so much. It reminded me of why I love meditation at all. You know, there's a lot of things that go on in life. Life is never perfect. There's moments that are very imperfect, stressful, too many things to do. It's inconvenient to take time to do meditation or to do fill in the blank, whatever activity your heart's longing to do. And yet we do it anyway, because the perfect moment is probably not ever going to arrive. Your life is never going to perfectly present the moment where it's perfect to meditate. You kind of have to do it anyway, make it happen. And then the act of meditation is tapping into this inherent perfection within. And sometimes it means being able to get past the story, past the stress, past whatever is going on in and around you, and being able to realign with the perfection that is your life, that is you. It's like when the sperm and the egg meet and they unite in this perfection of life. Now, there's many things in life where we can say there's that moment of perfection, and it truly is at the core of who we are. We just miss it because life is often not that level of perfection in a way that's available for us to see. We have to tap into it and trust and hold those perfect moments within. So let's meditate together. Take a moment wherever you are, even if it's not a perfect time. If you're driving or something like that, you can pause and do this later. But just take the time. We'll meditate for just a couple of minutes. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And take a couple of perfect breaths. Not perfect because everything about them is perfectly timed, but perfect because it's the breath that you are taking in this moment. Feel the perfection of it as it brings fresh oxygen into your body. The perfection of the exhale as you let go of what no longer serves you. And as you continue to breathe those perfect breaths, let yourself settle. Settle onto the earth. Feel the connection to our beautiful, sacred earth. And let yourself settle into this moment. This moment that might not seem perfect, but that truly is perfect. Now, this moment, this place, this breath. And we'll meditate here in silence for a minute or so. And as you bring your breath back into this moment, just feel the perfection that's all around you, that is you. Thanks for joining me, friends. And if you're coming to Sedona, I invite you to come and work with me. Let me help you find the perfection of your life, of yourself. It would be my honor. And until then, friends, this is Michelle Maddox saying goodbye for now.